Hi, Coach Mo here for the third installment of How Journaling Can Save Your Life. I spoke earlier in the first video about how journaling really can save your life and why it's important to create a practice. The second video, I shared with you that everything is spiritual. And indeed it is, and perhaps you've reflected on that. I hope at this point you've purchased your journal and you've gotten the meditations so that you can really start this journey. On this third installment, and here's the journal, by the way, on this third installment, I'm going to talk to you about how your mind gets in the way. And this is another angle where journaling is very important. The biggest obstacle to your soul, the biggest hurdle between you and your soul's truth and its expression and essence is your nervous system. The physical body has a protective defense mechanism for survival. And the way that the physical experience is, that survival mechanism is way more powerful than your soul. Your soul is a whispering intelligence that is hidden under layers, that is part of our human experience. And when you enrich your soul, it becomes the part of your human experience. But the obstacle to navigate is your mind and nervous system. This is best done with a regular practice of bringing your soul to life each and every day. But I want to take a few minutes here and explain to you how the mind and nervous system gets in the way. So again, you have a defense mechanism, a survival mechanism for your brain to pick up on anything that is threatening to you. And as soon as there's inputs, whether it be from the temperature of the weather, whether it be from being touched, cut, whether it be from something you've seen or heard, maybe something you taste. If you taste something you don't like, your body has the same response. Or perhaps smell. You smell smoke or something you don't enjoy, you're going to have the same response. This response comes through our physical senses, and it is your fear response. It's built to keep us alive physically. We are wired and hardwired in such a way that our physical body is on guard to protect us. And when our mind is lit up to protect us, it's in fear mode. We create attempts to get out of that because it doesn't feel good to be in fear mode. But after a life of being bombarded with inputs, most humans on this planet are in a chronic stress mode where the body is tight, constricted, in fear. And if our lens is fear, we're going to be putting everything in life through that lens. It's the mind's way of protecting us. The soul gets buried deep beneath the weight of that. We can't move out of it, or we won't, because those are the words that come out of our out of our mouth. We can't do this. We can't do that. Have you noticed that when you're in the fear mode, everything seems harder? Everything seems more complicated. You really want to shut down anything new because you're in protection mode. Your brain is hijacked in the amygdala part of the brain that tells the entire body to react in a certain way. I've created the meditations on the journal page for you in a way to help open you up a little bit and to decrease that fear mechanism so that you can begin to enjoy the whispers of your soul, so that you can begin to enjoy the time and reflection in the morning with your soul and not have fear and limitations infect your journaling process. It's really important to understand how the mind can be so tricky, because what happens when you're in fear mode is you actually create a tunnel vision and you don't see things out here. You actually are convinced that you're okay, even though you're not. It's the way the fear brain works. It's tricky. It's a very, very tricky opponent. And I want you to appreciate and understand, as sure as you're breathing and watching this video, Your nervous system is reacting to all of the inputs in your life. And if you have not created for yourself a spiritual practice of being rooted in your soul, your body is going to own your filter system. In order to live in a thriving life, I would really advise you to live in the thriving filter system of your soul, of love, appreciation, gratitude, and how awesome of a unique human soul you are on the planet. This journal will guide you through each and every one of those identifications of self every single day. Every day you'll be guided by a prompt of inspiration or a new thought that's coming from love, grace, appreciation, and expansion. And then you'll have the chance to write in the journal your focus word, what comes to mind when you see that phrase, perhaps a word that comes out of your practice of meditation, and then gratitudes and brags, where you'll actually be able to describe in your own words how awesome your life is. Again, as I mentioned in a previous video, even in the challenging times, I want you to dive into the positivity of how awesome your life is, what you're grateful for, and I want you to dive into bragging about yourself. You are a unique and absolutely wonderful human being. Brag about yourself in your safe space in a way that you can appreciate what you've already done and been in the world, how awesome you have been in situations. And you know what? Your creator has gotten you through all of them. Take some credit for being in the physical world and channeling all of the awesomeness that you have had to channel in order to move through life at this point, up until this point, through all of the things that have been handed to you. Hopefully, this context of thinking about the mind being in the way and needing to clear it out in order to express the soul has been helpful for you. We've got a few more videos here that I'm going to share some deep things that I've experienced in my journal writing, and I want you to follow along. If you haven't already purchased your journal, now is the time. Click on the link below, and you'll not only get this journal sent out to you ASAP, but you'll also be introduced to some beautiful journaling meditations and accompanying meditations to help you with your journal practice and to really enrich what this beautiful daily practice can be for you. I'll see you on the next video. This is Mo Fall.